Okay, so yesterday we took a look at chapter 8.1, where we got to look at perpetual inventory using the FIFO method. Okay, now today is going to be the Lifo method, where we're actually going to be focusing the last batches that you purchase are going to be the first one that we're going to cost out first. Okay, so again, the formula for Lifo is essentially going to be the same exact formula. And of course, how we cost it, it's the way that we cost it is just we just look at the batches of inventory that are available, and we're going to, cost it from bottom to top first, just exactly how we been doing for the periodic inventory, right? But however, this time we're going to be weaving in and out throughout the scenario. So we don't wait till the very end of the period where we've made a bunch of purchases. We do it as we go. So we're costing as we go. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a look at this scenario so we can kind of understand how this one will work. Okay. So once again, the formula is all the same in between, just trying to solve and fill out the table. Okay. All right, so again, here we have on June 1st that we purchased a total of 100 toys at $1.25 with a freight of $25. Okay, so we journalize it like this. Okay, and we're going to plug it into our inventory worksheet, just exactly how we saw before, right? Where we skip the first section, which is the cost of goods sold, and we place it right in the middle where it says purchases. So here we plugged in 100 toys, right? With a unit cost of $1.25. So that's going to give us a total purchase price of $125 plus 25 is going to give me a total cost of $150. Okay? Then because we are using LIFO, we have to still calculate the cost per item for this batch. So again, we take 150 divided by 100 to get us a total of $1.50, right? So here's the most important part here. We need to keep some kind of separation between the batches of inventory that we purchase. So I'm still going to make it a color so you can visualize it, okay? Then, right, on June 3rd, you sold 55 toys for $5 each, okay? Now, in this case, right, we only have one batch of inventory. So in this case, we don't need to focus on what came first and what came last, because in this case, we only have one batch of inventory. So our assumption right here is that it's going to cost us $1.50, right? That's what we calculated it to be. It's going to cost you $1.50, and that's what we plug in here. And then we calculate what $1.50 times 55 items are to give us $62.50. $82.50, excuse me. We're going to subtract that out to give us a remaining balance in my red batch to be 45 items, right? Left for $67.50. Okay. Then on June 5th, we end up purchasing an additional 100 toys for $1.28 with a freight of 26. Okay. So once again, we're going to plug that into our inventory worksheet just like this, right, on June 5th. And now we have 100 for $1.28, give us 128, plus 26 to get to equal 154. And once again, we need to calculate the cost per item for this one, so it's going to be $1.54. So here, we have a second batch of inventory. So I'm going to go ahead and make this one yellow. Okay, so in case I do sell my items, I'm going to start from my yellow batch first instead of going from the top to the bottom. Exactly just like this, right? Where I'm going to get rid of the most recent one that I purchased. Okay, so I'll be getting rid of yellow before I tap back into my red. Okay. So then on June 10, you end up purchasing an additional 100 toys for $1.30 with a freight of $27. So we're going to plug that in once again, And once again, this is going to become a third batch, right? Third batch of inventory. So then now, the next time we sell something, right, we're going to start from the green batch and then make our way up to the top. Okay? So here is where the scenario says that we end up selling 120 toys. Okay? So we sold 120 toys. Now let's go ahead and figure this number out, right? Which batches of inventory are we going to take out from first? Well, in this case, right, if we follow the rules of Lifo, we are going to take out the green batch first because that was the most latest one that we purchased first. I'm sorry, purchased last, right? So the most latest batch that we purchased. So that's the one that we're going to take out from first. So in this case, right, that means we need to get rid of our 100 from the green and then 20 from the yellow. So we're going to plug that in there. And this is how I'm going to eliminate it, right? This one's pretty straightforward because at the end of the day, all the batches of inventory that you purchase, those ones are going to go out first. So they're going to be immediately eliminated. So again, we're going to do 100 at $1.57 to give us a total of 157. And we're going to cancel that out. Okay? Then, because we have to sell a total of 120 toys, we still got 20 left to take out. And we're going to take that out from my yellow batch, right? We're going to take that out of my yellow batch of 154. Okay? So you're going to multiply 154 times 20 to get a total of 3080. And we're going to eliminate that from the yellow batch. So then now you only have 80 left in my remaining yellow batch. So we have the red one for 45 and we have 80 for the yellow. And again, it's going to tell you that at the end of the 15th, you should have a total of 125 toys left on hand. And that's true, right? 45 plus 80 is going to be 125. Okay? And now that's totaling up to 190.70. So then, okay, now that we have this, right, we have 2 batches of inventory left over. What we do when we have beginning inventory is we're going to do the same thing. We're going to carry the batches over into the next worksheet because now this one says that we have beginning inventory, right? It says on June 15, you have a total of 125 toys on hand. So that's your beginning inventory. You're going to carry them exactly how you purchased them, right? The red batch was the first thing that you bought. The yellow batch was the second thing you bought. Okay? So there you go. I put it in the exact order because it's going to matter, right? You can't add them up together and just say this is the new batch from the previous one. No. Okay? So let's go ahead and take a look. So then on June 18, you end up selling an additional 90 toys. Okay? So in this case, we only have 80 in my yellow batch and we only have 45 in my red batch. So therefore, I have to take out 80 from my yellow batch and then taking my remaining 10 from my red batch. So I'm dipping into both of them this time, right? And that's going to eliminate my yellow batch to make that zeroed out. And then it's going to tell me, okay, well, I have 10 of them at $1.50, so that's $15. So I'm going to eliminate that out from my red batch to give me a remaining of 35 units at $52.50. Okay. So that's what I have in this batch right here left. So that means I only have my red batch. Okay. So then on June 21st, we end up purchasing 100 toys for $1.32 with the freight costing $26. So once again, we're going to plug those numbers in there, right? Because now we have a new batch of inventory. So 100 at 132 gives you 132 plus 26 equals 158. So this batch is going to be $1.58. And I'm going to color code that just so that I know the difference between them. Okay? So now I have 2 batches of inventory, right? Then on June 25th, we end up purchasing an additional 100 toys for $1.35 with the freight of 27. So there you go. And I'm going to make this one orange. Okay. So now I'm dealing with 3 batches of inventory. So the next time I sell out my inventory, I'm going to be looking to use my last one that I just purchased first. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to take out for my orange batch first. So there you go. So then on June 27th, we end up selling 120 toys once again. So in this case, because the way that the numbers are laid out and the way that the batches of inventory is laid out, right? You're going to do the same thing that you did previously, where you take out the 100 out here from the orange batch, and you're going to take 20 from the blue batch, right? So you take the 100 from the orange batch to leave you with 0, and then you're going to take blue, right? Blue is 158 times 20, which gives you a total of $31.60. So you're going to eliminate that. So now you have still remaining in your inventory your red batch of 35, and then now you have a blue batch for 80. Okay. Right. And then let's see. Then on June 28, you sold 65 toys. So once again, we can take a look at this. We have perfectly enough from my blue batch to take out 65. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to eliminate 65. I'm sorry. Yeah, 65. I did a typo there. 65 to get me a grand total of 15 left remaining. Okay. So then 35 plus 15 is going to ultimately give me left remaining batch of inventory of 50 units, which if you look back at the scenario over here, it says that on June 30th, you should have a total of 50 units left on hand. Okay. So again, 80 minus 65 should give you 15. 15 plus 35 should give you 50 units left. Okay. Once again, same exact concept, except the difference here is just understanding which batch of inventory you're going to take out and cost the goods sold that way. So that's how you tell the difference between FIFO and LIFO is. It's basically looking at the batches of inventory that you have currently and picking which one you're going to eliminate and calculate the cost of goods sold. Okay. Any questions? No questions?
Not from me, Lynn.
Okay. So let's go ahead and dive right in to the scenario here for 5.2. Okay. So in this case, right, we're taking a look at my inventory, right? Number 1 says your inventory method is perpetual LIFO. Okay. So once again, on May 5th, we end up purchasing 1,000 units for $3 each on an account with a freight cost of $100. So once again, I'm not going to have you practice journalizing just because we've done this before many, many, many times. We also are going to practice that in the chapter 7 and 8 review anyways, so no need to do it here. So here on May 5th, 1,000 units at $3 each with the freight costing $100. So I'm going to go ahead and go into my inventory worksheet. It is May 5th. And we're going to skip this section here. And we bought 1,000 units at $3 each with a freight of $100. Okay. I'm gonna just reformat this real quick so you guys can see it. Okay. So again, my purchase price here, 1,000 times a $3 gives me 3,000 times 1,000 times 3. Hello?
I'm here, Lynn.
Okay.
3,000.
3,000, right? 3,000 plus 100 gives me a total cost of
3,100.
3,100, okay? So then what is going to be my cost per item?
3.10.
Yeah, $3.10. Now, I'm going to have you guys choose. Do you guys want to use colors? I don't care. On my end, I showed you the first time around how to use the colors completely in calculations, and then I started eliminating the calculations but kept the colors. So in this case, I'm not going to use any colors for this one because it's actually pretty straightforward. If you transfer these in the exact order that you purchased them, the order's still going to be there. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to carry my information over saying that I have 1,000 units at $3.10, which should give me a grand total of 3,100. Okay, so that's my very first batch of inventory. Right? I can see that because it's listed on there first. So then May 7 rolls around and you end up selling 550 units at $10 each for cash. Okay. So selling 550 units. So it's May 7. We sold 550 units. In this case, how many batches of inventory do we have?
1,000.
Yes, we only have the 1,000 batch. So in this case, what's the cost per item that I'm going to use to cost out my cost of goods sold? What's the cost per item?
310.
$3.10, right? So then I'm going to go ahead and calculate this. What is 550 times 310?
Let me 3 point minus 1,705.
Okay. $1,705. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and plug it in like that. Okay. So then now, right, we're going to eliminate this from the batch, right? I don't need to put in my work there, but if it makes sense to you to do it, then go ahead and do it. But in this case, right, 1,000 units, I have no longer 1,000 units. I have only 550 left. So therefore, I should have a remaining of sorry, wait, wrong one. My bad. You're supposed to do this. 1,000, right? Subtract 550 should give you a remainder of 450. Okay. So that's how much inventory I have left is 450. Okay. So then on May 10, we end up purchasing 850 units at $325 with the freight costing $75. 850, $325 with a freight of $75. Okay. So here we are. It is May 10. We purchased 850 at 325 with a freight of 75. So in this case, what is my total purchase price here?
$272.
Good, right? Plus $75 is going to bring my total cost to be
2,837.5.
good, which brings my cost per item to be, this is the long digit one,
$3.338235.
mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so then, therefore, this is something that we are going to transfer in here like that. So like I mentioned before, right, you don't necessarily need to have numbers because, or I mean not numbers, you don't necessarily need to have colors because here we already indicate the exact order of the batches of inventory. So all you have to do mentally is just be aware of which batch of inventory you're going to be taking out from. So in this case, right, if I'm doing Lifo and I end up selling something, right, I know for sure, for a fact that I have to take out this one at the bottom because that's Lifo, right? That's what I currently have to take out. I don't necessarily have to keep track of it by color or just by association, right? I could just look over here and say, well, I got 850 as my last one that I purchased, right? So then, right? So the perfect example here on May 12th, we end up selling 360 units. So May 12th, we end up selling 360 units. May 12th. 360. Now in this case, right, let's take a look at the batches of inventory. Which batch of inventory am I going to take out from this time?
From 800.
From from the 850, right? So in this case, what's my cost per item here?
$3,338.24.
Good. So then, therefore, I need to go ahead and calculate this, okay? I need to run my formula to calculate what my total cost of goods sold is. So how much is it going to cost me for 360 at $3.33.824?
$1,201 and 0.77.
0.7. If you round this number to 5, that's you're going to get that answer. But in this case, it's 7.6. Close enough. Okay? So if I have that, right, and I need to subtract this out, so 360, since you don't have it anymore, so there you go. I'm going to go ahead and do 850 minus 360. And
490.
right, you're going to get, you get 490 units at 1,635 and 74 cents. Okay. So then let's see what had happened next. Okay. So then on May 15, you end up selling an additional 600 units. So let's go ahead and plug that in here. So it is May 15. we end up selling an additional 600 units. Now let's take a look at my batch of inventory. Do I have enough to sell 600 units?
No.
Not from the last batch, okay? So that means we got to we had to dip in 2 batches of inventory, right? So in this case, I need to get a grand total of 600. Okay, so I'm going to create my little calculation work here. So then I get a grand total of 600. Now in this case, let's take a look at my last batch of inventory. How much do I actually have left? You have 490 left, right? So
Yes.
therefore, how much do I need to eliminate for my next batch of inventory?
120. 10.
110, okay? So then in this case, right, if I know I'm going to eliminate this entire batch of inventory right here, right, I'm going to get rid of the entire batch. So I know that this is going to cost me $1,635.74.
Yes.
So that means this becomes 0. Right? Now I only have 1 batch of inventory left, and I'm going to cost that at my $3.10 each. Okay? So then now I need to figure out what 110 times 310 is going to equal.
341.
341. Okay? So then now I go ahead and eliminate this from here now. So 450 minus 110. I get how much?
340.
340 items left. Okay, good. So then I also have to calculate how much 600 units that I sold is going to equal. So it's going to equal the 490 plus the 110 to get a grand total of 1,000, or in this case 600. And I'm going to take those two totals to get 1,976.74. Okay. So let's see what happened next. It is now May 20th. We end up purchasing a new batch of inventory, okay? 300 units at $350, okay, with a freight of $20. Okay, so 300 at $350 and $20 freight. So here we are, 300 at $350 with the freight of 20. Okay, and this was May 20. Okay. So here, what is my purchase price going to be? $1,050 plus 20.
1,070.
So then what is my cost per item here?
3, 5, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. Yes.
Good, right? 3.5666667, right? Now in this case, right, I'm going to carry my batch of inventory just exactly like this. Because I cell referenced in my worksheet, I can't actually just eliminate it because that's going to affect all my work that I have in my worksheet. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stack it in here exactly like how like how I purchase, right? So I know at least I know that my second batch of inventory is no longer there, right? So therefore, I cannot go back to my second inventory because I don't have any inventory there. I only have my third batch and my first batch of inventory. Okay, so at least this gives me an indicator that I don't have this anymore. So this is what I mean by weaving in and out through the purchases and through the batches of inventory, right? You're gonna go as you go. So in this case, now that I purchased something new, right, I have a third batch of inventory, okay? That means I'm gonna eliminate that one first. And I'm gonna keep going until I'm weaving through in until I reach the end of the account, the end of the accounting period. Okay? So let's go ahead and let's see what happened next. Then on May 22nd, we end up selling 450 units. Okay? May 22nd, we sold 450 units. Now, which batch of inventory am I going to take out from? I have 450 units that I sold. Let's look at my batches of inventory. Do I have enough?
Not enough.
Not enough in the last batch of inventory. So that means we gotta dip into 2 more batches of inventory. So we got 300 is the last batch, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this is another calculation here. Okay. And if I'm at 300 and I need to get to 450, how many more do I need to take out?
150.
150. So in this case, since I know I'm going to eliminate this entire batch of inventory, right? That means I already know what that price is. I don't really need to calculate it, but this is for class purposes only, okay? And I'm just referencing it. So in this case, I know I'm going to eliminate 1070 right away because that entire batch of inventory is gone. So then now I still need to take out 150 from my 340. So in this case, 340, and each item that is on here is going to cost me $3.10. So therefore, I need to calculate to tell me how much 150 times 310 is going to equal.
165.
465. Okay? So now I need to go back up here and eliminate that because now I have 340 minus 150 giving me a remaining balance of 190. Okay? And then I'm going to also calculate this, that my 1070 plus my 465 is going to give me a total of 1535. Okay? So as we're looking at LIFO, right, we're noticing that this is what's happening. No matter every time we purchase something, we're eliminating the last batches and we're having the first batch remain in our inventory at all times. Okay. So then on May 25th, we end up purchasing another 650 units at $375 with the freight costing $50. So 650, 375, 650 at 375 with the freight of 50. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so then this is May 25. Right? So this case, right, what's my purchase price here going to be?
Yes. Then 407.5.
Good. Plus my freight of 50.
487. Yes.
Mm-hmm. So then that's going to bring my cost per item to be
$3.8269,308.
Okay, good. 3208. I don't know where you got that. I got 3.32692. Okay. All right, so here you go. I'm going to transfer this balance in here. Okay, so then when I multiply them, I should get the same exact number of the $2,487.50. So now I have two empty batches in between, right? I have my first batch, my second batch is gone, my third batch is gone, and then I have a fourth batch. Okay. So then, lastly, on May 27th, we end up selling an additional 740 units. Okay, so we sold 740 units on May 27th. Oh, no, I didn't want to color them, huh? There's just a missing box here. Okay. So then again, May 27, we sold 740 units. Okay, right? 740 units. So let's take a look. 740 units. I only have two batches of inventory. So in this case, I already know I'm going to eliminate the entire batch of the 650. And then I'm going to take my remaining to get to a grand total of 740. Right? So this case, I'm going to highlight this. So if this was 650, right, and I need to get to 740, that means I need to eliminate 90. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So then, I know this for a fact that since I'm eliminating this entire batch of 650, I already know what the full price is. It's 2,487.50, right? But I'm going to go ahead and reference this so you know. Okay. So in this case, right, I'm getting rid of the entire batch of inventory. Then that means I'm going to zero this batch out. So then now I only have left one batch of inventory, which is the only one left, which is for $3.10 each. So I'm going to plug that number in here, 310 cents. I'm sorry, $3.10. And now I need to calculate how much 90 units at 310 is going to be.
279.
279. Okay. And I'm going to add these numbers together. That gives me 2,766.50. So then now I need to eliminate, right? I no longer have 190.
100.
I only have exactly 100 batch of inventory left at $3.310. Okay? And let's take a look at my scenario. It tells me that I should have a total of 100 units left on hand, which means that is correct. Okay? So as you can see, right, at the end of the day, all my batches of inventory that I purchased are all gone. Right? Where if you remember from the previous one, right, we still had it end up remaining inventory from the last couple batches. Okay? So in this case, that's how I'm going to calculate it is I'm going to work backwards. So now all my answers are slightly different, right? Because the cost of goods sold is 100% going to be different because the way that we're calculating it is we're going from bottom to top. Okay, so that means we're calculating all of the inventory and the cost of it slightly different. Okay, but the work or the concept of calculating it is the same. Okay, we're constantly taking the quantity times the cost per item to solve for the total cost of goods sold. and we're going to eliminate it from the batch of inventory that we have. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm going to stop here real quick.